Listen, if you want your gigs to be exciting and full of technical difficulties and sweaty armpits, this mixer's probably not for you. This is the Mackie ProFX10GO. It's a 10-channel mixer. Little disclaimer, Mackie did send me this for free, but they are not paying me to make this video or influencing my review. It has a rechargeable and swappable battery. Very important because batteries don't last forever. And for the most part, it is a degular mixer. The two fancy functions it has is it can Bluetooth to your phone so that you can still play background music from your phone when you're on your set break. This is very important. And it also can work as a digital interface with your phone or computer or camera or whatever. This mixer is basic biscuits and I don't think it can be beat. Let's get it out of the box, play with the knobs and the, no faders, they're all knobs. Let's get it out and look at more of what it can do. Manual, USB-A to USB-C cable, power supply. All packed up for care. Get it out of there. Whoa, this is the biggest do not eat packet I've ever seen. Don't eat the Mackie ProFX10GO. The first two channels have combi jacks, which means you can plug in an XLR or a 1/4 inch. And then 3 and 4 are just XLR. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 are combined stereo channels. 9 and 10 looks like the Bluetooth channel. You can plug in an aux cable here or push that for Bluetooth. I love that each channel has a mute button because when you're at the gig and something starts screaming, it's just like, ah! So we don't have to worry about that. And then the main outs are XLR. Power switch is on the back. I forgot it's battery powered because when I turned it, I haven't even plugged it in yet, but it turned on. And effects sends, headphones. Here's where the meters bounce. Cool. Isn't this a beautiful place to have a gig today? I'm gonna set up this beautiful garden just the way that I would set up at a gig. Let me get the rest of my stuff. I had to scooch the table a little bit closer because my cables weren't long enough. When I play solo, I like to keep it simple. So I do all of my personal mixing in the looper. So my voice, my guitar are both plugged into the looper. Then I send a stereo output to the board. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 are stereo channels. I plugged them into 5 and 6. And then I plugged it in with one speaker. Let's see if everything works according to plan. I wanted to simulate what it would be like at an actual gig setting up. So I'm gonna test the sound and play around. And then I also wanna test the Bluetooth feature and make sure that it pairs with my phone easily so that I can get the background music up and running on my breaks. Also wanna try out the USB feature so that you can hear on the video exactly how it sounds if you use it as an interface.
Imagine a big world made up of little things, circles, squares, and triangles, the stuff of dreams. Orange, blue, and indigo, yellow, red, and green. The colors of the rainbow make a beautiful scene. And every big idea is made up of little things. Ayo, ayo, ay. Little things. Ayo, ayo, ay.
And after that little garden demo, I took the ProFX on the road to an actual gig and live streamed the show on my Twitch channel. Here we go.
I'm going out and dating.
Besides it just being kind of awkward to set up a camera at your gig, especially when you're like the only performer, it's got the phone mount to clip your phone right there and then a vice grip to clamp it to anything you might find. It's always hard to get a good angle, so I found this awkward low angle when I clamped it to a chair. This is a pretty typical solo gig for me. It's just me. I'm running my own sound. I bring my own sound system, and all I ask of the client is like an outlet or place to plug in. Since you couldn't really see much of the environment from this angle, I unplugged the phone from the interface and like showed off a little bit of what I was looking at. He's a kid. I unplugged you from the board, so I'm using, I just shot a video about this actually. I'm using the Mackie ProFX10GO. Gotta get the name right. And it has USB, it can be an interface, so that's kind of how I'm using it today. My regular setup, RC600, Telefunken, made this little merch table. Actually, this is pretty cute. I made it out of a bistro chair. I got a request for some Linda Ronstadt.
Love will abide.
The biggest issue I run into live streaming my gigs like this is the phone burns through the battery faster than the cable can charge it. It's a lot of processing for this little phone. And it's an iPhone 13, so it's basically a grandma. But that's a separate thing. There's just a lot of moving parts at a gig. But the ProFX did make the whole setup and day run very smoothly. Now I need a safer way to travel with this thing and not just keep it in the box it came in. All right, this is a gear review. So couple things. I haven't really deep dove. I haven't really deep dove into the effects yet, mostly because for my personal setup, I don't need them. But if you need, it's got compression, EQ. Depending on when you're playing, it has a low cut feature. You can add reverb and other effects. Optional phantom power if you want to use a condenser mic, for example. Like these. I just did a comparison of two of my favorite condenser microphones made by Telefunken. I also couldn't show the whole process of pairing my phone to it, but it was super simple. All you had to do was hold down the big blue button and then go into my Bluetooth settings on my phone and select the ProFX, and it paired right up. See, super simple. There I am, dancing to music that we can't hear. I love that it's battery powered. I'm not completely wireless because my looper still needs to get plugged in, my speaker needs to get plugged in, and my little preamp for my acoustic guitar. Being completely battery powered is possible. It's not really a necessity for my everyday gig. I think all of Mackie's speakers that they make now are battery powered. Yup, the Mackie Thump. Battery powered. Imagine having a battery powered speaker, a battery powered mixer, just guitar, microphone. You could bring some friends. That'd be a pretty sick little setup. If anyone is planning on using this mixer as an audio interface, my iPhone is old enough that it still uses a lightning port. So I actually have to use this little adapter that converts the USB into the lightning jack here. If you have a newer iPhone with USB-C, you do not need the adapter. Ugh, pretty boring review when everything works right. Yay! And frankly, that's how I prefer my setups. Boring. Setting up at your gig can be such a panic attack if you're using gear that's too complicated or unreliable. An audience trying to come talk to you while you're setting up your gear. Stuff is always bound to go wrong, and it's really nice when that thing is not the mixer. I'm super stoked that they sent me this. I'm gonna use it a ton. I might use it by myself. I could use it with my full band. We could use it for my Taylor Swift tribute, Swiftified. It even has a headphone jack if you want to use it just as an audio interface and not have a speaker at all. What do you think of the Mackie ProFX? Do you have one? Do you want one? I've linked it down below in the description, and I also want to say thank you so much to my patrons who make this YouTube channel possible every single month. I give them some early releases, exclusive downloads, some vlogs about my IRL shows and my music endeavors as an independent artist. I just released a new live album that I recorded in a tiny house that I lived in for 3 months. Star-Crossed Love, take one. So you can check that out down below in the description as well, or join the Patreon yourself, and we'd love to have you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.